Today on the channel, there's excitement in the air with Mondo Thundercats Lion-O.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mondo Collectibles unboxing and review. But in today's video, we got something extra special. We got the brand new first time ever Thundercats figure from Mondo. But of course, for all your Mondo needs and a whole lot more, hit up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on in-stock items. Anything over $39 currently does ship free. Gotta get a deal out there. And Mondo, we've been unboxing a lot of these on the channel over the last couple of years, primarily X-Men and of course Masters of the Universe. But any kid of the 80s will tell you, yeah, I loved He-Man, yeah, I loved the X-Men, more so in the 90s. But Thundercats was a big deal. Now, I didn't get to collect the Thundercats toys as a little kid. I've been having to do that through Super 7 all these years later. But when they announced this Lion-O, I said, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to have to pass on this Lion-O. And as you can see, I did not pass on it. At the last second, I pulled the trigger and bought this one. I did the same thing with Mum-Ra, which will be coming in 2025. However, I think that's where I have to pump the brakes and call it quits on the Thundercats. Obviously, if there's a crazy deal or special, maybe I'd jump in. But at the price point and the room these take up, because that's the one thing about Mondos. I absolutely love these Mondo figures, but they take up a lot of room, a ton of room. They take up some prime real estate, which they're prime figures, but there's almost so much real estate to go around. You can get, 50 WWE figures in one Detolf shelf. You get one of these or two of these in a full Detolf. So you got to pick your battles a little bit. And I do love the Thundercats, but I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go the yin and yang with Mum-Ra and Lion-O here today. And this Lion-O was the timed edition, so this is the extra deluxe version here. You can go to the Entertainment Earth of the world right now, and you can pre-order the regular edition of Lion-O if that is your thing. Better that one than no Lion-O is my guess, but we'll see. We got to see what all the fuss is about, and how we're going to do that is we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's check out the packaging on this one. Always part of the excitement is the packaging. Beautiful artwork of old Lion-O right there. How about that? Look at that cat slayer in the background. Is that going to be me before the year's up? Will we get our cat slayers from Super 7 before the end of the year? I don't know. We're getting dangerously close to the end of the year right now as I'm filming this. And you got to think a couple of weeks to ship. So I don't know. I think 2025 might be the year of the cat slayer. We'll have to wait and see. Got the Mondo logo down low. Nice glossy package. Nice beautiful package. This isn't just rinky-dink packaging on this one. Thundercats on the side. It's kind of like the Book of Omens over here is what it looks like a little bit. Lion-O down here on the side. As you guys know, I save all my packaging on the Mondo figures. You got to save the packaging. On the back, got a little bit of a blurb back here, I believe. Let's see what it says here. Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, son of Claudius and heir to the throne. Lion-O is a champion combatant, an agile fighter who overpowers opponents in battle. Once belonging to the mighty warrior Jaga, his sword of omens summons the other Thundercats and grants him sight beyond sight with the powerful Eye of Thundera. But an ancient evil, you always got to watch out for that ancient evil for sure, is awakening. Can Lion-O save his new home, Third Earth, from Mum-Ra the Ever-Living and his demonic army of mutants? Oh, the plot thickens right there. And it makes me think, reading the back of this, I would love to see a series on Jaga, like a prequel with Jaga as the leader of the Thundercats. See some familiar faces, see Groon back when he was a good guy. I'd love to see something like that in the future. Who knows? You never know. It could happen. Could happen, but I won't hold my breath. I won't hold my breath. There it is. There's old Lion-O in there. And then look at that. There's the big bubble window looking very nice on this one. Of course, not the best if you're trying to display it like this because he's kind of covered in a lot of different packaging, of course, as we see right there. But beautiful action figure photography over there on the side. And I'm going to slide old Lion-O out, and I got myself a whiff of China Factory is what I got right there. He's going to really smell out this room. Some nice air freshener for the toy room here today. Pull that out, stick it off to the side. See you later, goodbye. And we got a double bubble window. Double bubble right here. Got this big one here, of course. Oh, I forgot about Snarf. Snarf comes with this. It's a 2-in-1 figure is what it is. We got Snarf in here as well. But I'm going to take this all offline, get them all out of the package, try to get a little mask on to protect myself in the meantime. But we'll be back talking Snarf and Lion-O. All right, we got Lion-O, the leader of the Thundercats, out of the package here. And I got to say, obviously the factory smell was wafted in the air. It's a permanent perfume down here, I guess, at this point. My wife's going to come down and say, what's this new cologne you're wearing? Oh, it's China Factory. It's a great smell. Maybe not, but there is a lot of stuff with this guy here. Now, we've got a lot of stuff with other properties as well. But I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it feels like we got more bang for our buck with this one than a lot of one as far as accessories, heads, and of course the figure itself. Your mileage may vary, of course, but let's dive into these accessories real quick. Of course, got the Mondo stand. We always get these stands with these Mondo figures, so nothing too wild right there. I guess we'll go extra hand department first, I guess. So we got 2 splayed out hands right out of the package. So he's surfing some waves, maybe doing some skateboarding. Who knows what he's up to. He's also going to throw a couple of punches, and possibly in bunches. We got hands right there to throw some fists. We get 2 gripping hands. Most likely, most people are going to be using these for the weapons. But you get the gripping hands there. And then you get a little bit of a tighter splayed out hand. Just a little bit, almost cat clawing hand. Pun intended right there. So 1, 2, 3 extra sets of hands plus the set on there. You do get that. Now, if you want to make King Lion-O, you get a beautiful soft goods cape right here. Extremely soft material. Feels very, very nice. I would love to have a blanket made out of this material. You, of course, do get the wiring in the cape there, so you can do your dynamic poses, things like that. I was looking at the figure real quick, how this clips in. He does got a little sash over the top here, 2 little straps on each side. You undo those. You put these in its place. So you got to choose how you want him to do it. And this is one of those figures where there's so many different looks, so many different ways to do this one. It almost makes me want to go to the Entertainment Earths of the world, get the cheaper standard version of Lion-O so I can display multiple looks for him. But once again, it's a costly adventure. When it's a $20, $25 figure, you can get away with some of that stuff. But when you're looking at 200 plus, a little tougher day at the office, as we do know, but a beautiful cape right there going on. We do get a weapon here that I don't know if anybody would use here. This almost reminds me of something more of Panthro style, of course. You get kind of the Panther fist club right here, and you get a little dagger there so we can throw it, get somebody, give you a little scorpion, get over here maybe, who knows. Real chain in between here, just a very, very nice weapon right there. For me, though, not going to be using that one. I'm going to be using, of course, the Sword of Omens. So when you get this small Sword of Omens right here, give me sight beyond sight all day long and twice on Sunday if you could. But looking very good. It is the short sword, of course, going to grow. It goes in the claw shield, I would imagine. Yes, we'll get to that here. I guess we'll do it right now. It will fit in the claw shield here, so you can display him. This is, I guess, technically an extra hand like we've seen with Thundercat figures in the past. You do get 2 claw shields right here. So do you like the golden armored one or do you like the furry one? Choose your own claw shield adventure right here. Both of these looking very nice, and both of them will store the small Sword of Omens for you if you are up to that case right there. So choose your own adventure. Once again, if you get 2 of these, you do them different ways. You know how it goes. But very cool to get the claw shield. Very iconic for Lion-O, of course. But now diving back over to the Sword of Omens, we do get 2 versions right here. 2, I guess we'll call them standard editions here. You get a more classic one and I guess a more updated Mondo one. The one over here, this one is a tad longer. It looks like, no, a tad shorter. So the classic one right here is the longer of the 2 swords. So you like a long sword or a short sword? What, Todd? You like a long sword? I knew you did. Mark Summers, you too. Yeah, both those guys long swordsmen over there. Just swinging those things around, of course, but looking good. You got the Thundercats logo right there in the middle. Just very, very cool. You know what this is. If you're around this property, you've been around the 80s, you see this, you know what this bad boy is right there. So looking good. And then take it one step further. You want to get it over. You bring this in. And we saw this, I believe, with Prince Adam. Kind of this power sword there we saw from Mondo, the Prince Adam figure. But we do get this from Lion-O here. Very cool. Very like kind of thunder, lightning. Just very, very cool. This does not come off. Sometimes you see these things, they'll slide off. Doesn't in this case. It is like this. So obviously a little bit heavier than the other swords. You put it in his hand, it could weigh down over time. You never know how that may go. But man, I like that sword a whole lot. Looking very good. We do get the Sword of Omens right here. The Book of Omens right here. Of course, you want to do some light reading on a weekend maybe. Who knows? But we do get that looking very, very nice. Here for that. I don't think I'm going to use that. Probably going to baggy that up, of course. 4 heads here, but I guess let's knock out Snarf first. And Snarf, kind of a statue, kind of an action figure. You do get movement on his arms right there. No movements on the hands. You do get the legs back and forth. No movement on the tail. So very cool though. Much like He-Man had Orko, Lion-O had Snarf, I always felt. And Snarf looking a little grungy, looking a little dirty. Maybe a feral Snarf, maybe living out in the wilds maybe a little bit. But he's got a little bit of a dirty beard. He looks like some kind of 80s sci-fi movie that this guy, you know, you hear some rustling, you're a little kid. Let's picture me at like 8 years old. I hear some rustling in my closet. I'm like, oh no, what could be in my closet? I open it up and he looks at me and I look at him and we both scream. Kind of like E.T. maybe, something like that. You can see him being in a buddy 80s adventure. Almost as good as Mac and Me probably is what it could be. But looking very good. It looks like Snarf, he's looking up. Of course, he's a short guy, so he's going to be looking up to the Lion-Os of the world. But looking good. Got the yellow hair up top. Got the dirty fur there. The big pointy ears, akin to an elf almost. Curly dragon-like tail going on. And then, of course, he does need a manicure. That's why I said he's possibly feral at this point. You got the long nails on him. Need a little trim there, action. Lion-O, you got to take better care of your animals. What? Todd McFarlane from the couch, what? Yeah, I know. Yeah, Lemmy and Domino, their nails are a little longer. I need to get on that. I love it. I love it. And when I do my nails on my dogs, they just give me one of these. They put them up because they love getting their nails trimmed. I've done it since they're a puppy. That's a puppy trick out there. Play with those paws, get them used to it, and then they'll just give you one of these, give you one of these, and then beg for a treat is what they'll do. I'm sure Snarf, very, very similar. But thanks for bringing that up in the review. I'm getting behind on my dog grooming detail. I'll get it today, I promise. I promise. But Snarf looking very good. A very fun accessory, action figure, accessory, whatever you want to call it. A great throw-in for this pack here. I'm very happy they did that. But now we're finally getting down to Lion-O. We're finally getting down to the head sculpts here. And let's start with this first one. Most of the time, I stay with the head that's right out of the package. That's just kind of the way I've always done it. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens as I knock over some stuff. But I like the head sculpt here. I like the windswept hair looking very, very nice. Very nice over here. Red, bright red hair. He's got a very good orange skin tone on him, of course, looking very nice. You got that white kind of around the lips. He's got a little bit of that hot dog tan going on. He's living that summer third attorney of life is what he's doing. Stoic face on here, fiery eyes, just a very good Lion-O head. Looking at some of these other head sculpts here, you do get another one here with windswept hair in the other direction. But this time he's got those teeth out. He's got those fangs out. He's a little bit angry. He's a little upset. He's got the raised up eyebrows, the mad face. Angry Lion-O. The sea was angry, my friend. Getting down to the third head here, a very stoic head. Once again, not terribly different than the head we got out of the package. A little thicker in the face, I would say. A little bit skinnier in the face here. Not a lot of differences right here. Not a ton of differences. A little bit, just a little bit. And the tan is maybe a hair oranger on this. Would have liked to seen something a little bit more different on this one here. I would have liked to seen a classic head. We got that with, was it Prince Adam or the He-Man figure? We got the classic old school head. I would have liked to seen something like that with this one, but I'm sure they're going to do it in the future. They're going to say, here's the cartoon edition in the Mondo scale. I could see that happening. The fourth head here, fourth head. Oh, everybody, there's never enough head to go around, of course. This one, we got the fangs going again. This head almost reminds me of that 80s show. I remember it was terrible as a kid. I think it was on at the same time as Unsolved Mysteries, too. And I'd always flip the channel and say, oh, I'm skipping this. I'm going straight to my boy Robert Stack. It was Beauty and the Beast. You remember that? Was that Ron Perlman? Was he the guy in Beauty and the Beast? I can't even remember. It's been a long time. I was a little kid at the time. But I remember just thinking, this is the dumbest show ever. I don't like Beauty and the Beast in animated form, and I don't like it in live action form especially. But he kind of has that look to him in the face department there. Not a fan of this head. So far, this is the worst one of the bunch, I do think. Don't like the little protruding fangs on a little grumpy face. It's just not for me. Not for me. Now, the last head here, this one goes with that beautiful ornate robe. Of course, it is one King Lion-O here. He's just wearing that crown. Well, you got to respect a guy in a crown, right, Todd? Yeah, that's right. Todd, you put your crown on as I said that. That's very, very convenient of you wearing a crown around here. But a beautiful crown there, Thundercats logo on the top, the blue and the gold attack, some turquoise jewels around there, the windswept hair, and a very stoic, kingly type face on him here. So a nice head on that one as well. So man, how many heads do you need? Well, how many heads are you going to give me? But we got a lot of heads with this one. 5 total heads. Absolutely wild right there. But diving into the figure itself, I guess let's dive into it. We got that orange fur throughout the body there, a little lighter in the chest, things like that, but the fur throughout. Of course, he's the Thundercat after all. Big old boots down here, ready to go. He's ready, boots on ground, looking very nice down here. We've got the white trim, a little bit of that blue and tealish color together, and then gold on the bottom. Does say WBE and Wolf, okay? And then Mondo on the bottom as well. Let it know who made this one, of course. He does got the protective here around the groin on the front. You got to have that flap there. You got to protect the groin at all costs. Got the tights on underneath. And of course, he's got the Thundaria Heavyweight Championship belt. I heard it was gifted to him from Jaga. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes it when Eric Bischoff gifted that belt to Triple H. We want a tournament. We want something. Lion-O is just handed the belt. However, he has defended it for many years without fail, so yin and yang on that one. But beautiful Thundaria Championship belt right there, looking good. I love the Thundercats logo in there. Just a nice, nice belt. Got a little holster right here on the side. I'm guessing maybe for this bad boy. You can just put that on the side, store it there if you want to. A little clip ready to go. And then you do got the chest protector here, of course, a patented Lion-O accessory in all of his action figures. These straps over the top do pop out there, and then you can put the cape in. You got to choose your own adventure. Do you want cape Lion-O? Everybody loves a cape. Lando Calrissian knows. I don't know. I don't know what to do on that one there. Of course, articulation, we'll dive into it. Head's going to be movable and removable, of course, as we know. Back and forth, side to side, a little bit up and down, a lot more down than up, as you can imagine. Arms going to go all the way around. Of course, tight joints out of the package. But man, these more modern, I guess, current, we'll call it, Mondo figures, a lot better in the articulation I have found. Bicep cut a little bit right there. Elbow, side to side, back and forth, single jointed. Hands back and forth, side to side. Forearm guard is removable if that is your thing. Same thing with up here, removable as well. Hands removable, I'm sure I mentioned that. He's got long nails too, so he's living that Snarf life as well. You do get waist articulation. We do get a little hula hoop up top. Of course, you got to have those big old Lion-O splits. Are they that big? Come on, for a cat, he's got to work on his flexibility. He might be getting high on the hog now that he's a king, maybe. Legs go up a little bit, pretty non-existent in the leg. You do get a little bit, but not a ton. And obviously, I don't know if anybody's putting these in crazy positions, but a little limited right there. Very tight, as you can imagine. Double jointed knees on this one. Very smooth as butter as well. You get a little rotate there, kind of a boot cut. Ankles. Oh, geez, that scared me. Back and forth, up and down, side to side. Very tight ankles. You got to move them in there, though. But thankfully, did not break on me there. But looking good as far as articulation goes. Now, I don't need a ton of articulations. These always walk the fine line between statue and action figure. I think the statue part is they're a little bit bigger. They're obviously very detailed, very expensive. The action figure, the joints, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I guess I lean more action figure than statue, but it is close. It is action figure really at the end of the day, though, is this Lion-O. But I wouldn't recommend giving this to your 7-year-old to play with. That's just me, but do what you want. It's your toy. It's your collection. But man, oh man, this Lion-O, something extra special right here. I really do like the looks of this one. I gotta say, it did beat my expectations. I had pretty high expectations. I think we saw this at San Diego Comic-Con for the first time. Liked it a whole lot there, but even better here at the table. I would have probably foregone that last head and gave a classic cartoon head just for the heck of it with him. That would have been nice to have, but it is what it is. I'm sure they're going to release a cartoon edition probably in the future. Got to get the most out of your molds. Got to get the most money you can. We know how that goes all these years later. I do got a good old friend, of course. We had that He-Man Thundercats crossover back in the day in the comic books. Now you can have it on your shelf. Lion-O a little bit bigger than He-Man, as we can see right here. But looking very, very cool. Now I'm always going to be a He-Man guy first. But man, something special about this big cat right here. I really do like this guy. Very, very fun. Happy to add this one to my collection. Definitely worth a pickup if that is your thing. Like I said, the timed edition, you're going to have to pick up the eBays of the world. But if you want the regular edition with a few less heads and accessories, you can grab that over at Entertainment Earth. And of course, discount code Kyle as well. So there it is. Old Lion-O, Mondo, Thundercats. What are your guys' thoughts? A pickup, a pass, long game, not so sure game? I can't wait to have it game. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this Lion-O figure. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel. You get early access to both my YouTube channel videos. You get monthly giveaways, monthly Q&As, all the glamour shots, and a whole lot more. And best of all, you do support the channel. You can also head over to ProWrestlingTees.com, pick up a t-shirt, search Kyle Peterson. Sir Paul 64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and Instagram. My book available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and of course Kindle. And don't forget my sick TikTok moves over there on TikTok. So for Lion-O and the Thundercats, and I guess He-Man too, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.